welcome to my channel. So today I have a classic bold red lip with glittery gold eyeshadow as a combination. So I kept the face really bronzed and put on some feathery eyelashes. I hope you guys like this look, and if you want to know how I got there, continue watching my video. Thank you, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a nice clean base that's moisturized. I'm going to go ahead and spray my Fix Plus by MAC just to create a nice base. I'm also going to take my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's a color correcting blend. It's really good for dark skin tones, evening out dark spots, and just giving you a nice one shade. I did my eyebrows off camera, and if you want to know how I got them done, there's going to be a link down below that you can click. We're going to go ahead and start with the eyes now. So I'm just going to take some tape and put it on the edges just so we can get a nice clean line after our eyeshadow and our eyeliner. Really good for beginners, really good for everyone. I like doing this when I'm doing an extravagant look. So now I'm just going to take some of my Nars Tahoe Weightless Luminous foundation, put that over my eyes just to create an even base. I'm going to go ahead and pat that down with my beauty blender. Now I'm going to take my favorite eyeshadow primer. This stuff is awesome, gives you a nice white shade and makes your colors pop. So it's by Urban Decay. It's the color Eden. And yeah, so we're gonna spread that around our eyes and just make sure it's covered all even, all the way to the top of your crease. So just make sure that's really blended into your eye, because we want our eyeshadow to look even and nice and last throughout the whole day. So I'm gonna take my Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar eyeshadow palette. I'm going to use the color Coconut Cream. So I'm going to put that all over my eyelid, even up to my eyebrow, just so that we can make sure everything is set and we have no creases. After this point, I'm going to take my dark deep SkinFinish. I'm going to use this as kind of like a contour. I like to use this shade because it's really close to my skin color and it's just bronzy and natural. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put it all over my crease with a blending brush. So after that point, it's going to just bring out our eye and give some dimension, because we did take away that dimension with all the foundation and the primer. So after this point, I'm going to take the same palette. I'm going to use the Truffle shade. It's a chocolate brown. I'm going to use that on the outer corner of my eyes as well as in my crease to add some dimension and create the base. I'm also going to take just a regular orange shade. I'm going to use that around my eye as well, just to add some more color, because the brown's a little bit harsh and we're going for a really bronzed natural look. So next I'm going to go in with a pigment from MAC. It's in the shade Melon. I love this pigment. It's so diverse. You can use it as a highlighter, you can use it as an eyeshadow, and anywhere else you want glitter. So I'm just going to take a dry, dense eyeshadow brush. So just use one where you can really control where the eyeshadow goes. Don't use a blending brush. So first I'm going to pack it on dry. Just going to take a little bit of the pigment and put it on, and then I'm going to spray some Fix Plus on my brush just to make sure that the glitter doesn't move anywhere. If you don't have Fix Plus, you can use water. Water really helps too. And just make sure you blend it in all the way to the end, just leaving about ½ an inch, because we are going to put a darker glitter on there after. So just make sure it's in all the right places, that it's covered, and we get a nice thick layer. Now I'm going to take a blending brush and just make sure that's blended in with the brown. We don't want to have those harsh lines where we can see where one starts and one ends. We want to have that done. So I'm just going to grab my Emani eyeshadow. It's also a pigment. I love this pigment. It was super cheap. It is a gorgeous color. It is so bright. So it's a kind of a darker brown, kind of similar to the glitter I just put on. I'm going to put that on the outer corners just to kind of blend in the glitter, and just make sure that's all blended in. You don't need to use very much of this glitter because it is very, very strong. I got it from Rexall, the drugstore in Canada, and I'm pretty sure they have this in the States too if you want to look for it. So I'm just going to clean up the eyeshadow on the top, make sure it's all blended and looking proper. After this step, I'm going to go ahead and do my liquid liner. So I love to use the Kat Von D tattoo liner. It's in the shade Trooper. It's so easy to use, and honestly you get no slip ups. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take off this tape, and you see how perfect our lines are. There's no eyeshadow anywhere, perfect wing every time. So after this, we do have some residue from the glue, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a Q-tip with some lotion on it and just take that off, just so it doesn't ruin our concealer. So after this step, I'm gonna go ahead and start on my foundation. I'm going to take my black Opal stick foundation in the shade Carob and my Nars foundation in the shade Tahoe. So I'm going to mix these two together, just a little bit of the darker one, just to get my desired shade, because I really have a hard time finding foundation that's exact to my face. So might as well make it on my own. So I'm going to take a damp beauty blender to blend all of this out. If you don't have a beauty blender, I recommend you should get one because it's a great product in blending everything together. If you don't have one, you can use a flat brush. Just make sure you use a little bit less product because I find the brushes don't really get rid of the product. Now I'm going to go ahead and start my highlighting. I'm going to take my Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer in the shade Caramel. I like this concealer just because it really does leave your face creaseless. It's an amazing consistency and it feels really light. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the black Opal stick foundation as well and just use that as my nose contour. So I like to do these two steps together just because it makes everything look a lot more even and the blending process is one step. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to blend with my beauty blender. With my under eyes, I like to start at the bottom and work my way up just because I find that my under eyes crease very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and take that same stick foundation, put it on my forehead and the areas I want to contour right under my cheekbone as well. So blend, 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 continue to blend your face out. So I'm just going to perfect what isn't working out for me right now. Continue to blend my nose, highlight on my nose as well. Just make sure the concealer reaches right where your nose contour ends. As well, I'm going to start my baking now. I'm going to take a sponge. I don't really like to use the same beauty blender that I use for my face because I find it's wet and it just packs everything on. So I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. So I'm going to put that on a sponge and I'm going to make sure I get it on the right areas. So right before I put on my translucent powder, I like to make sure that there's no creases because even if you wait 5-6 seconds, you're gonna get creases. So just make sure about a second or two before you put it on, you blend it out with your blending brush and then you put on the translucent powder. So just make sure you get it in the proper areas and you don't get it anywhere you don't want highlighted. So I just went off camera to let that translucent powder set, and after 3 minutes I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to take a face powder brush. I'm going to use the Studio Fix MAC NC45 powder. I'm going to put that on the brush first just to get rid of the white cast when we're dusting it off. Now I'm going to take my favorite product in the world, my MAC Mineralize SkinFinish in the shade Dark Deep, and I'm going to use that to contour the areas that I previously contoured. So I'm going to use that powder. It's going to give me a really natural finish look just because I don't like to use too much of the foundation. It leaves you looking really kind of, dark, too much contour. I like to go for the natural looks, and that's exactly what the MAC SkinFinish does. If there's any product I used in this video that I recommend you guys getting, especially if you are of a darker skin tone, it's the Mineralize SkinFinish best product. Now I'm going to use those same shades of eyeshadow I used, the orange and the truffle shade, and I'm going to put that under my eye. I love doing this just because I find I have smaller eyes, and when I put on lashes and after all this makeup, it really helps making my eyes look bigger and more open. Now I'm going to highlight the corner of my eyes with the shade Butter, so it's kind of like a white yellow shade. It's just going to help bring out my eyes more and make them look sparkly. I'm also going to put it on the brow bone as well, just to highlight that area too. After that point, I'm going to take the Melon pigment that I used earlier and start highlighting my cheekbones. So I'm going to use that as a first base, and after I'm going to put on the shade Butter that I used for my eyebrow bone and just give it some more dimension. I'm going to put it on my nose, the highlighted areas as well, just to make everything pop and give that glowy bronzy look that I'm going for. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and get started on the lips. So I'm gonna moisturize them with some Bliss Tex, and then I'm gonna take my Studio Chromographic pencil. It's a concealer pencil. I'm gonna use that to line the outside of my lips, just to give this color a more bold effect. And then I'm gonna take the Sephora lip liner to go in the shade Classic Red. It's really important to line your lips when you're doing a bold color, just because it brings it out a lot more. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the cream lip stain from Sephora in the shade Always Red. This is a really good lip stain. It stays moisturized and it goes on, doesn't leave your lips feeling really dry. Then I'm going to go off camera, put on some Ardell 116 lashes. You can get this from the drugstore. I'm going to put some mascara on the bottom of my eyelashes. This is the best mascara. I really recommend it, L'Oreal Telescopic. And that is about it, guys. So we are done. I'm gonna go off camera and just put on everything else. I just paired this look with some sparkly earrings and a red top. I really hope you guys liked what you saw today, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you guys want to see next as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.